Hello all, and welcome to tonight's beer review, which I am dubbing, I finally taught myself how to whistle beer review. Wait. See? Learn something new every day, learn something new even in your 30s. Not very good at it. I don't think I'm going to really improve all that much. I've been trying for hours to improve every day. Not so. Okay, so today we will be reviewing. It wouldn't be nice if we were brewing. We will be reviewing Deschutes Chainbreaker White IPA. Now, this is even though it's labeled an IPA, I find that it definitely takes more after. Well, let's start from the beginning. This is a wheat ale brewed with Belgian yeast with ostensibly Northwestern style hopping. I don't really find it all that strongly hopped. It's definitely closer to. It barely could be called a pale ale in my opinion. One thing that might be related to that, though, is that this is Best by 6/12/15. That means it's about 4 months old already. So, the hop presence might have degraded over time. They tend to be fairly volatile. So, let's read this. You pair wheat, hops, and Belgian yeast, and suddenly bingo, a wheat like nobody else's. With real depth, coriander, and sweet orange peel, it's citrus-packed and silky smooth going down. So this is Belgian style. There's live active yeast inside. It's fairly light for Belgian style. It's 5.6 ABV. And of course, with Belgian style, it's brewed with coriander and orange peel. In this case, sort of skipping the other ingredient. Or if I dare say it, adjunct used in Belgian beers, rock candy. So, let's go and review this. And we're going to be using a Belgian glass for this. Though I think that a wheat beer glass would definitely work for this as well. Swirl it, get that yeast out. Nice and frothy. And pour that bad boy out. That's how you pour a good active culture Belgian ale. So, you can kind of see a little bit of the remnants of the yeast there, but I got most of it out. You can really smell that yeast in there. It smells nice and yeasty in a good way. And we have a thick white head in a nice bright yellow and cloudy coloration. So cloudy you can't really see the carbonation of it, but it's fairly carbonated, I find. Excuse me. A little bit post-nasal drip there. Very Belgian, very phenolic, very estery in the nose. You get a lot of that sort of juicy fruit flavor in the smell. You get bananas. You get spicy cloves. You get a sort of soapy smell from the coriander. Some people find that unpleasant. I find it very pleasant. Unfortunately, the head doesn't really retain too well. As you can see, it's kind of died down. It was very strong smelling. Gives off sweet, estery smells. Very Belgian in its profile. There's an initial rush of sweetness, and then a tartness kind of takes over. Some people say that it's sort of like a good shandy. I've never had a good shandy. I'd like to try a good shandy. Interestingly, very lemon juicy, but with orange zest instead of lemon zest. So you get an immediate rush of very lemony sort of juiciness, but then you're left with the bitterness in the end. That's partially of the hopping, but also very much orange-like, like pressed Seville orange rind. The yeast shows up in the front, and a bit in the lingering finish underneath the hopping. The hopping is not very IPA-ish. I find it doesn't have much of that sort of resiny or pine needle quality. There's a hint of floralness to it, but not intense. There is a bitterness, so it'd definitely be a pale ale. But like I said, this beer is about 4 months old, so take it with a grain of salt. Hop presence might be a lot more prominent in a fresher brew. I like how the yeast presence is sort of there from, it immediately makes itself known, kind of descends a little bit, and then rises again in the finish. Coriander is fairly subdued, in my opinion. Some people will probably find it overwhelming. I find that sensitivity to coriander varies amongst people. My mom can only handle a very little bit of it. Me, I go and load it into like my banh mi, Vietnamese sandwiches, and my salsa, because I love that stuff. It's nicely refreshing. It's tart and sweet at the same time. Sweetness is very subdued. It's something you only kind of notice when you're thinking about it. Oh, but for nasal passages and throat, that works well. Imagine what my sensitivity to drink would be if I wasn't, permanently semi-congested. You know what I mean? Things would probably taste amazing then. But I digress. I'm enjoying this. Sweetness and tartness are increasing as it warms up a bit, but I find that's pretty much it, and there's no real strong evolution in taste profile as it warms. So, what do I got to say about this? Chainbreaker White IPA. No, I forgot to mention, yeah, it's kind of funky in a wheat sort of sense, but you really notice the Belgian aspects before the wheat aspects of it. Yeah, you get that sort of funky malt character, but I've ended up focusing on the Belgian aspects of it. But definitely wheat there. I probably totally flipped me. But again, even though it says white IPA, not really an IPA. Wheat aspect kind of secondary to the Belgian yeast, and Belgian-style adjuncts. And what we are left with is a very good American approximation of a Belgian Pale Ale. This one using a wheat bill, which kind of gives it a twist, but not overly much so. So do I recommend this? If you like Belgian styles, Belgian Belgian styles are really hit and miss with some people. Some people absolutely love them, like me. Some people find the yeast and the coriander to be kind of off-putting. So, it's pretty affordable, as are most Deschutes beers, and you can find it just about anywhere. So give it a shot if you're into Belgians. So, well, maybe I should leave this off with a song by Jacques Brel, but I don't have one, like, queued up, so, tough beans. That's your beer review for tonight, folks. Sorry about the congestion. I really need to go and get a doctor about that. I mean, imagine how awesome it would be if I could taste and smell things without that constantly being there, you know what I mean? Feeling half plugged up. Okay, that's your beer review for tonight. Cheers.